Welcome back to the Locker Room Talk podcast. As always, we are your hosts, Dalton and Sebastian, and we're switching things up a little bit. We kind of mentioned on our last episode, we're going to break our recordings up and our postings up a little bit more to give you hopefully a little bit better content, a little bit more in depth. So this is going to be recording this Sunday night. This is purely a college football recap episode. So everything that happened on Saturday, maybe not everything, but the biggest events that happened on Saturday, we're going to get into. We're going to talk about here. So I think first of all, get out of the way. OU played Kent State. OU wins 44-0. Really not a whole lot to get into with that. Jaden got some touches. Keontae Lewis is hopefully okay. He was walking around after the game. Michael Hawkins played okay. Defense was good. Forced 2 turnovers. Got a scoop and score.
Well, defense was elite. I mean,
defense was elite. Defense was elite. So we got Javonte Gibson, Eli Bowen back, and Brent Venables said he assumes John Mateer will not play this week against Texas, but we will see. But that's, really not a whole lot to get into with the OU game. So,
well, I'll say this: Mateer needs to come back.
Yeah.
So whatever rehab he's been doing, let's crank it up a little bit because it's clear and evident that this offense plays better when he's out on the field.
100%. Have him stop cranking his hog, let the thumb heal. Oh, it's me. Sorry, it's me cranking my hog. But have him stop going to Chipotle, just stay inside and rehab. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Maybe definitely the most shocking game of the weekend. I can't believe this happened. I kept looking up at it, questioning reality. Penn State, through all my confidence, travels from Happy Valley to LA and lose.
Massive game. It was the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, it's the Rose Bowl. Big Ten Pac-12 Rose Bowl. And they lose to the 0-4 UCLA Bruins with the coordinator calling his first ever college football game.
Shout out Jerry Neuheisel.
Shout out. They lose 42-37. It was 27-7 at halftime. And they started to come back in the second half. They scored 14 in the third, 16 in the fourth. But it was just never enough. It even looked like they gave up on the safety at the end. They really didn't pursue the dude until about, 12 seconds had gone off the clock. And then he slipped out of bounds. It was just an overall bad look. I didn't watch a ton of this game. I really was focused on the OU game and the Texas-Florida game, which we'll get into. And I was also steaming from the sack of shit the Cubs laid in American Family Field and didn't want to lay my eyes upon the horrors. Penn State, now unranked in today's AP poll, 3-2, 0-2 in the Big Ten, and maybe James Franklin's on the hot seat?
Well, okay, before we get into that discussion, because I know that you brought it up when you texted me that you wanted to talk about it. I do want to give a little bit of credit to UCLA and Jerry Neuheisel because
you're right.
Listen, the team was just kind of in hell at this point. Obviously the coach that they hired last season, he gets fired this year. It was never a good hire to begin with. I think a lot of UCLA fans would have told you that, all 10 of them. Mm-hmm. But I don't know who's their current interim head coach. Well, whatever his name is, he decides to promote Jerry Neuheisel, who is an alum. His dad, he's a legacy. His dad played at UCLA. He played quarterback at UCLA behind Brent Hudley. And yesterday was his first time calling plays.
Tim Skipper is their interim head coach.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he got those guys fired up and ready to play. So
he did.
Good for him. That's not a very good football team, and they went out there and beat Penn State, who everybody had. They were top 3 in the AP poll preseason.
They were preseason number 2.
So they were preseason number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, everybody got that wrong. I was never that high on Penn State to begin with, but anyway, Jerry Neuheisel. It was even to the point where when he was calling plays, he didn't even have his headset on.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had mentioned that he didn't even have his headset on, but he was awesome with some of the designs that he had. In terms of stats, UCLA had 446 yards of offense yesterday to Penn State's 357. Nico looked good.
He did.
Watching that game, um, the passing yards don't blow the roof off of the house, but he was very decisive when he was throwing the football. He had some really good, accurate throws. We've always known him to be a good runner. Dude, he looked very, very fast running the football. Probably faster than he ever looked at Tennessee. Sorry, I got the hiccups. But every time he took off with the ball, I mean, Penn State, it felt like those guys couldn't. It was like a track meet every time he took off with the ball. Like he's just so fucking fast. But he looked really good. And shout out Jerry Neuheisel for putting him in the situation to be able to win. Yeah, he had 166 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. He had the 1 interception, felt kind of fluky, but it happens. And then Drew Aller on the other side. I mean, he didn't have a terrible game. I mean, he was 19 to 26, 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 78 yards, but here's where I'm at with Drew Aller. He's probably going to be a backup in the NFL. There's going to be a team that's going to give him a chance. Turn on that tape against UCLA, a defense that's in shambles. There was a couple of incompletions that, when he threw the ball to receiver, and it's like, what is he doing? Like, that wasn't even part of his progression. Or like he read his progression wrong. He looks slow when he runs the football. He's just not a very athletic guy. So, Penn State fans, I mean, I know they were extremely high on Aller coming back. Hey, it's his 4th year, and it's under Andy Kotelnicki, one of the best offensive minds and play callers in college football. This is what you get with Drew Aller leading the way, and Penn State fans are kicking themselves about Bo Prabula and how he looks at Missouri. I hate shitting on the kid. I mean, listen, he's just a kid at the end of the day, but not really. I mean, he's getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah,
he knows that criticism is
warranted.
But yeah, criticism is very warranted. But I mean, time of possession was even extremely unbalanced. I mean, UCLA had over 39 minutes time of possession. They had 22 first downs, and for Penn State, they only had 20 minutes time of possession. I mean, they did have 21 first downs, but the key difference was UCLA. They were 10 of 16 on 3rd down, and Penn State was 4 of 9. So they completely disappeared as a football team. Yeah. Like they had to score a bunch of points, and it's not saying much because it's UCLA. I mean, this is a Penn State team that should. Well, here's the thing with James Franklin and Drew Aller. There's an overhanging narrative. It's like a knife, swinging right above you that's about to fall at any minute. But there's an overlaying narrative with those two that they're never going to be able to win the big game, right?
Yeah.
And they proved it time and time again. Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Notre Dame in the playoffs last year in the semifinals. That was probably that team's ceiling. I mean, they had who were they? Let's see. Abdul Carter got drafted. Was there anybody else that got drafted from that Penn State defense last year?
I mean, they lost. Yeah, they lost Abdul Carter. They've been
Chop Robinson, or Chop Robinson was a couple of years ago.
Chop Robinson was 2 years ago, but they're also very thin at linebacker this year. Like
they're slow at linebacker. They're slow everywhere on the defense. Their defense is extremely slow.
But they're extremely beat up at backer too. So I think they're down their top 2 guys, I want to say.
Yeah.
Which I mean is still no reason why. I mean, they are very, very, very much more talented than.
Well, yeah, and that's the reason that
holy shit, the Varrington.
there's a there's always a guarantee, or there's three things are always true: death, taxes, and Penn State can't win the big one, but they'll always beat on the lesser than competition. Like
Yeah.
if they always beat the small teams, the teams that aren't nearly as talented and good as they are.
Yeah.
Uh, Meanwhile, UCLA, that's a team that hadn't led at a single football game, nor a single
Yeah.
quarter of football this
They hadn't
season.
led a second.
Yeah, they hadn't had a lead all season, and they went out there and they controlled that game. I mean,
Yep.
at one point it was 27 to
It was 27-7 at halftime.
yeah, like they completely dominated that game, and you can say what you want about the second half and Penn State's rallying back. It did kind of feel like Penn State was going to come back and win that game when everybody was like praising UCLA. I even had the tweet where I tweeted UCLA, and then bam, it looked like, all
Yeah.
right, well, that was fun while it lasted, but no, um, Penn State, they shit down their leg, and this has to be one of the more shocking like upsets that we've seen since we started this podcast, right?
I would 1000% agree.
Like I can't think of too many upsets that were this shocking. Like NIU beating upsetting Notre Dame last year.
That was big. And the optics of it, Vandy, Alabama last year was big, but I don't think it was super shocking when you really look at it,
Yeah,
OU beating Bama last year.
in a vacuum. Like, well,
Right.
listen, Oklahoma wasn't a good football team last year, but their defense was still playing lights out.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. And those aren't on the level of this. I'm just thinking off the top of my head like upsets that we've had,
this is
and
definitely like this, and then the NIU Notre Dame game last year were
yeah.
definitely the two most like shocking
This
developments.
is like App State over Michigan 2007 level of
Yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I'm trying to think of any other ones that were super crazy. Well, I mean, since we've started recording, there hasn't been too many.
There hasn't been
Like if
nothing
it's
that like truly. I mean, Georgia Tech beating Florida State last year was kind of crazy before we knew that Florida State was a super flawed
well,
football
it's a
team.
that they're still a Power Four team. They still have talent. Like
Yeah,
and
well, I
UCLA
mean,
is
UCLA is
too,
a Power Four team with
but
I
they've
don't know about
they've
talent.
got FCS talent this year. Like
Yeah, they
the
do.
this team that they put together, like it's a roster that is not where it needs to be, and a
I
win like
think
this with how good Nico looked and how good the offense looked, I don't see why they can't use that as. I mean, that's firepower for recruiting. Like, hey,
yeah. Did you see how does this answer the question that I've had in my mind the last few weeks? UCLA or Oklahoma State? Who wins?
give me UCLA. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Like it's not good, dude. But
Nico's a good
um,
quarterback. I mean, he's not like he's not going to light you up, but that was the first time watching him play because I've always thought he had a high ceiling. Like when
right.
even in the 2023 class, I thought he had the highest ceiling of all the quarterbacks. He's got the
Mm-hmm.
arm talent, he's got the size. If he puts on weight, like he's going to be big and
He's got good mobility.
great mobility.
Yeah.
He is like really fucking fast for his size. Like a lot of people like touted Trevor Lawrence as the second coming of John Elway. Like, oh, this guy he was born to play quarterback. He's he's a generational prospect. I think Nico like has a higher ceiling than Trevor Lawrence. I mean, in terms of like his athletic ability and his arm talent.
That's fair. That's
Like
fair.
if you gave me Sean McVay or Kevin O'Connell's offense, right? And I
Yeah.
had to choose like who I would want at quarterback between Trevor Lawrence and Nico. I'm taking Nico. I think Nico has a higher ceiling. Not necessarily because I think he's faster. Like you need to be able to run the ball and escape
Yeah.
pressure. I think his escapability has grown since last year, where he was always just getting sacked in the pocket, and like he's extremely elusive. I think in terms of like arm talent, they're about the same.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is a little bit more muscular, but I know it's a hot take. It's an extremely hot take.
Well, what you're saying though, if I'm correct in this, if you get both of them at their top, like if you can get the most out of each one of them, Nico gives you more than Trevor does.
Yeah, and with his legs.
Yeah,
and that was the first time that
and Trevor's a mobile guy, but he's not. He's
mobile. He can absolutely turn on the burners, but
I don't know. Well, I mean, he did the national title game, I guess that against Ohio State, maybe.
That was in the semifinal. Yeah,
semifinals.
Yeah, he looked fast, but there were times where Nico pulled out and ran, and it just felt like he was the fastest guy on the field. Like nobody was catching him.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but yeah.
I can't believe it though. That's so insane. I still can't believe that happened.
They pummeled him. The final score isn't indicative of like the outcome of this game from the eye test. And if you want to go ahead and get into it, we can about James Franklin. Does he keep his job?
I say it almost tongue in cheek because look, it's not often you have a coach at any level of program that can consistently get you 9 to 10 wins every year. Now, Penn State is a top level program in college football with top level.
Well, they're supposed to be.
They're supposed to be.
When was the last time they were truly like a top, like in the 80s, 90s, like when they were consistently?
OU in a title game was the last time they were really,
Well, yeah, they have that. They have great athletic. They have a great like football facility. They have an awesome stadium like that. Yeah. They have an SEC level stadium.
Yeah, well, they're built to be a top level program, but like the thing with James
constantly like turning out like NFL players too. So
yeah, exactly. And they're in a premier conference, so one of the premier teams in that conference, one of the premier brands in college football. But it's just one of those things. Is the grass greener on the other side? You have James Franklin that gets you 9 to 10 wins a season, and you do shit your pants in the biggest moments. But it's like, do you take always being on the brink of winning it all, or do you blow it up and try to go actually get you someone that's gonna win it all? You know what I mean?
Well, like we've talked about this before. Coaching searches are a nightmare. Like, what if you miss?
Exactly, and it's like you can go from being a Big Ten title contender every year to the bottom of the barrel or mid in your conference because you decided to try to blow it up. You know what I mean? And so it's the balance with it. And if Penn State, because I just don't know if James Franklin can ever do it. He hasn't proved to anybody that he could ever do it. And so it's like, I don't know.
Well, here's my answer. Yes, I think you move on. I know they should let him. They will let him coach the rest of the season. They're not going to fire him midseason like they did Gundy.
For sure. Yeah.
He'll coach the rest of the season. They'll probably, win the rest of the games that they're supposed to. Well, maybe. I mean, obviously they'll probably lose to Ohio State. What does the rest of their schedule look like? Let's pull it up real quick. So Penn State 3-2. They got Northwestern at home. They should win that game. They got Iowa on the road. Now that's starting to look like, that's not a gimme anymore like it used to be. Then they got Ohio State in the shoe. They've got Indiana at home. Michigan State on the road. They should win that game. I think they beat Nebraska towards the end of the season. And then Rutgers, which I don't know. Let's see, 3-2. This is 1.
I mean, I think they
have
more games.
I think they have 3 more games that they win and they should win. But Iowa, Ohio State, and the Rutgers on the road at the end of the season aren't gimmies. I mean, Rutgers might be, but it's on the road, and that team, that's on tape now, what UCLA did.
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure Coach Shiano's he's gonna scheme something up for that game. But I think you do find a new coach. I think you do go ahead and cut ties, say, hey, we appreciate you for everything you've done. But it's just not that it's not good enough. It's
I don't think it is good enough.
well, what's the word that I'm looking for? I mean, it's not good enough, but not that it's not good. It's just boring almost, or not even boring.
It's become it feels like they're constantly not living up to their like they're not reaching their ceiling. Is what it is. They're not reaching their ceiling.
Yeah.
And realistically, no team except for one is going to reach their ceiling every single season. Now, you can look at it differently and say, hey, Buffalo and the MAC, if they go 8-4 or 9-3, win the MAC title and playing a good bowl game, that's their ceiling, right? Penn State or Boise State making the playoff last year and having a bye, that's their ceiling.
Just because it's crazy that one man carried. I mean, Boise State was a decent team last year, but it was one man that carried them to the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's like Cam. That's like Cam Newton with Auburn level of.
Remember when we were that close to having Cam Newton?
Well, shout out to Buffalo too. They won in overtime.
Damn. But that's the thing though, is when you're talking about these big programs, especially the Blue Bloods in college football, only one of them is going to reach their ceiling every single season. But you have to be able to consistently fight above your weight. And that was the biggest thing about Bob Stoops every year. Is that OU is a premier program and had some of the best talent in the country every year. But when Bob Stoops was coaching at OU, we only won one title in 2000. But, he won every BCS game. He was taking us to the playoff. He was giving us shots to beat SEC.
Well, and he was doing it with, it's not like he was just consistently getting 5 stars at the end of his tenure either.
Exactly.
We would be lucky. Well, and he was really good at finding hidden gems. So, some of these guys that were 3 stars actually played 5 stars, but he was also just a very good motivator. With James Franklin.
That's what Gundy did forever too at Oklahoma State.
Yeah. With James Franklin, he's getting good talent. Dude, he went out and he got Andy Cottle-Dickey. They got Drew Aller, who was a 5-star. They hit big time on Singleton and Katron Allen, the running backs. They've done everything to try to make themselves an explosive offense. And you can say what you want. Oh, Andy Cottle-Dickey, maybe he just isn't that good of a play caller. How are we not so sure that it's not James Franklin trying to run this outdated scheme and he's trying to play his style of football that he thinks is the winning recipe, but it's just not working.
I don't know.
They've got everybody in the country or all the media personnel and everybody that's thinks they know everything about college football told me that this offensive line for Penn State was supposed to be extremely athletic and strong. They were supposed to be a top 15 offensive line in the country. Why aren't they running more power outside zone? Get these guys on the move. They're just not great enough movement. They're not generating enough movement on the offensive line, and I don't think that's Andy Cottle-Dickey per se.
Yeah,
because we know what kind of offense he ran at Kansas.
Also, Drew Aller does not fit his offense at all.
Nope, he needs a mobile quarterback.
He needs Bo Prabula.
Yeah, he should have recruited Jalen Daniels somehow.
Yeah, dude, imagine if Jalen Daniels would have transferred to Penn State and been their starter. Holy shit!
It would have ruined his career because James Franklin doesn't.
Yeah, probably.
Let Cottle-Dickey run the offense. And they go out and it's like, hey, we've got not national title aspirations. We're bringing all these guys back. Let's go out and hire Jim Knowles. We're going to take him from Ohio State, which
it's a great hire. and they're transitioning to a new style of defense and
Can I
new
say
language
something?
and stuff like that. Yeah,
I have a hot take. I never thought Jim Knowles was an elite defensive coordinator.
really.
Yeah. He had a couple of good defenses at Oklahoma State. You know, like, uh, listen, they gave up, like, that game last year against Oregon, or even the games leading up to the Oregon game. Like, Ohio State's defense, they were supposed to have the top defense in the country with all the talent that they had with Jack Sawyer, JT Tolomalu, and all those guys that they had. Like, they won the national championship. Yeah, they won the national championship because of how good their defensive personnel was. But do you remember, like, do you not remember seeing after the Oregon game where Ryan Day like had to step in and like not take control of the defense, but he basically like had to put training wheels on Jim Knowles and like give his
Yeah.
he had to give Jim Knowles advice on like personnel groupings and like what they should line up in. Ryan Day's an offensive guy.
Yeah.
And then when the whole contract disputes started happening, if they believed Jim Knowles was like the defensive coordinator that was going to lead them back to another national title, they would have kept him.
They would have done whatever it took.
Yeah.
They would have
So
paid
obviously
him
they
obscene
let
amounts
him
of
walk.
money.
And I saw a bunch of Ohio State people even after like the Oregon game. They were like the game, like all like I think that was like what, week 6 because it was the same time as OU Texas.
Yeah.
Like Ohio State fans were complaining about their defense. Like we're like lined up and like formations or like matchups or um what do you call it, like whenever you're trying to match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're mislined or they're not in like good matchups with like the opposing, like with the formations of the offense. Like they were complaining. I remember going on the For You of Twitter and everybody, all the Ohio State fans were complaining. And then their defense just went insane when, I forgot who they basically had a co-defensive coordinator that was helping out Jim Knowles. So I think he's a little, maybe not overrated because he was good at one point, but I think it's kind of gotten away from him. And you can kind of see it because they've looked like shit against 2 Power 4 opponents, and this is supposed to be a good defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You definitely won that hiring.
Yeah, and a lot of OU fans were like kind of sad that he wasn't hired.
Yeah,
I never cared. I was like, maybe we got away with that one just because of everything that came out of the Ohio State debacle last year. But obviously,
I was swept up in a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, this would be awesome." But at the same time, I fully trust Brent Venables.
Well, yeah, and Brent Venables probably saw the situation and thought, I'm a way better D coordinator than him.
Oh, he didn't say that, but he even said, when they'd ask him, it was like, "Hey, why are you doing this?" He said, "Well, I'm good at it."
Fucking good at it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just my take. Unless Penn State, just has the game of their life on defense against Ohio State, then I'll take back what I said originally. But
yeah. Well, like I said, they're extremely beat up at backer, and they've got some injuries, but their issues start before that though.
Yeah.
It's not like where you look at OU and it's like OU on offense last year. OU on offense was inept, and they were beat to shit. But it's like even if they were fully healthy, it was not going to be a good product.
Yeah. Well, but still, like it's UCLA, and maybe we're not giving UCLA and Jerry Neuheisel enough credit, but like that's a team you should.
That's a team you should have beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
At least one.
Well,
it's plus 1,500 by the way. The money line.
To toot my own horn, but
yeah,
you can go back and watch the episode on Friday.
Yeah,
I may have said
you definitely called it, and I wrote you off as crazy, but you ain't right back. So, plus 1,500 by the way on the money line. What sicko took that and won?
Should have been me.
Should have been me. I should have done it for the fuck of it. But if I would have done it for the fuck of it, Penn State would have won by 40, and I'd have been like, yeah, that was a dumb thing. But
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
You called me crazy for.
I did call you crazy. That was. I thought Minnesota was going to play Ohio State in a close game, and I called you crazy for saying UCLA was going to beat Penn State.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's man. All right.
Well, hey,
Well,
listen, Big Ten football. You never know.
you never know.
Well, with Ohio State, it's kind of a given. Like that team has just separated themselves from everybody else in the pack. So,
Except maybe Miami.
It's kind of sad because it's so funny to watch Ryan Day lose football games, but he's finally figured it out. Unlike Dabo, he's finally figured it out.
Yes. Dabo has a lot to learn still in his 48th year being a head coach. So
yeah. I think we basically broke down that game in its entirety because
I think so as well. I think so.
Do you have any other thoughts? I mean, I don't. Why are you like a Penn State fan?
I've just always been, ever since I was a little boy. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've always
a trip to the showers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, like a Jew. It's like the trip to the shower. No, but I don't know. I've always liked Penn State. I was a big.
What was Jerry Sandusky like?
He's very sweet, man.
Yeah,
he's very sweet. Free my boy.
Yeah. Anyways, what were you gonna say?
I don't know. I've always been kind of attracted to Penn State. I've always just kind of enjoyed them, and I love Happy Valley. I love the stadium. I love the aura around Penn State. So I've always just watched them.
There's literally no aura. That team fucking blows.
Okay, now, but they're fucking used to be, dickhead. But and when they had Saquon Barkley, it really pulled me in. So I love Saquon, so that helps. But I brought up Ohio State, and Sebastian had said that they really separated themselves from the pack. I think they have separated themselves from everybody. It's not maybe Miami. That's the game I think we should get into next.
Well, when I say that they've separated themselves from the rest of the pack, they're still beatable. There's just kind of this notion going on right now that when Ohio State...
Hold on. Do you open bananas like a fucking gorilla?
That was racist.
No, that was not racist. I meant the actual animal.
Yeah.
Now that was racist.
Yeah, I do. Why don't we use this?
That's crazy.
It's just easier that way, and it doesn't fucking fall apart. I've got to get some potassium in me. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Never seen a person open a banana like that.
Why are you judging the way that I open
I've never seen a person open a banana like that. I've never seen someone do that. I've heard people talk about it. I've never seen someone do that.
Oh, shit. Did I?
No, you're still there. You're good.
Okay, continue.
All right.
Gorilla boy.
Miami and Florida State and Tallahassee. Miami wins 28-22.
It looked like it was going to be a good game in the first quarter.
It did. It did look like it was going to be a good game. And it was 14-3 at halftime, and you still kind of felt like Florida State had a chance. And then,
wait, did you say you didn't watch this game?
No, I didn't watch a ton of it.
You make fun of me for not being a football guy. I'm starting to really doubt your.
I had company.
Are you a football guy or a football guys guy, or are you?
I'm a Jerry Sandusky guy.
You're a fake football guy.
Yeah, I'm a fake football guy. No, I had company, and my company didn't want to watch football, and so
I had company too.
Yeah.
Yeah, my laptop and a bunch of porn.
Well, you can click off of that. All right, my company wasn't quite.
Miss Brandy Love, she's always keeping me company.
I bet she is. I bet she is bad company. But yeah, no, I mean, I didn't see a ton of this game. I was keeping up with it, but I didn't see a ton of it. All I really know is that total box score watcher, Florida State made it competitive in the second half, or really in the fourth quarter, but it felt like Miami was really in control most of the way.
Yeah, they kicked the set. So, it was, I think there was 20 seconds left in the game, and Florida State did a good job of getting down the field to try to score so they can get the outside kick and get back. But they kicked the sad field goal, and it was like, well, they're not going to recover the onside kick. We should have a touchdown.
I love when teams do that. They're just like you can almost see them kind of concede.
I think it's fair to say that Miami is the best team in the country, and their odds to win the national title should be higher than everybody else's, even Ohio State's.
I would think that. I think they're the most complete football team.
They're the best in the trenches. And
yeah.
I was high on Miami last year, and I was high on them this year because I thought their offensive line was going to be the best in the country. I didn't really know much about their defense or their defensive line. The only one that I knew was Ruben Bates Jr. That was really the one player I knew from the defensive line, but everybody on there just flies off the rock. Their get off is good.
Mm-hmm.
They're physical. Beck is like so. I mean, he looked good, but he wasn't great like he can be. So that's like the only problem with Miami is what do you think of Beck, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, and that's kind of what we had talked about on Friday was, one of the reasons for Miami being the most complete team and being considered as the best team in college football and why I thought they were going to win somewhat comfortably was the fact that they are so dominant in the trenches on both sides. Both the offensive and defensive lines are, especially their defensive line, have a right to be considered as one of the best in the country. And so, football is a game of trenches. It's a game of inches. Fortunately, I always lose games of inches. But, I surprised Florida State was able to make the run they did in the fourth quarter and make it look a little bit prettier. But I never really thought, from kind of box score watching and keeping up with the game, I never really thought that it was – I was never worried for Miami.
It was 28-3 going into the fourth quarter, and I thought if Florida State had any chance of a comeback, it like kind of like what happened with this, like what they were trying to do with the comeback that they were attempting. It felt like Miami was going to find a way to answer. And listen, I criticize Mario Cristobal for being a coach that will always have a letdown. At least in his tenure with Oregon and now Miami, that like if there's any like will of the other team to fight back and try to win the game, Cristobal usually like his teams will bend over and just take it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it almost happened in this game. Like if Florida State scores that touchdown, they make it. If let's say touchdown and 2-point conversion, it would be 27
game. Well, it's
the field goal.
a 5-point swing, so it would be 28-27. You're right.
Yeah, 28-27. If they get the onside kick, then all of a sudden, bam, everything goes to shit. But no, Miami was in complete control of this game, and like the better team won, in my opinion.
For sure.
Let's see, who do they have left on the schedule? By the way, they won the Battle of Florida, so they won the state.
They did. They beat USF, Florida, and Florida State.
Yep, they're state champs. So shout out Miami.
They have a bye week this week. Then they play Louisville, and then there's no reason Miami shouldn't go undefeated. They have a bye week. They play Louisville, Stanford, SMU, Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt.
Louisville just seems like the perfect letdown spot. And I still think Miami makes the playoffs. I think they win the ACC, even if they go 11-1. And if they continue to play consistent, dominant football, they'll make it to the title game, like the title game. But I have to see it to believe it with Cristobal. Like if they're going to go undefeated and be the number 1 seed, I got to see it.
I agree, but that's why there's no reason why they shouldn't. They haven't done it yet.
Could they beat Georgia?
Yeah.
Like on a neutral site?
Yes.
Do you think they beat Georgia? Like easily? Like give me the score.
Not easily. I think it's a dogfight. I think it's a lower scoring game. I think you're looking somewhere in the realm of 17-24. Well, I mean, I don't know. Georgia's defense hasn't been
Yeah,
that
I would think
great.
of a more like a high scoring game because Georgia's offense can score when they need
Georgia's
to.
offense can score. I just think that Miami would dominate them up front.
What about what about Oklahoma with Mateer and a healthy offensive line?
I think that is a
Neutral
damn
site.
good football game.
Like if Mateer's healthy, offensive
Both
line
teams
is.
fully healthy. I think that's honestly a lower scoring game.
I do too.
I would think 16-20.
Yeah, or 20-17 Miami. Like it just they barely nudge one out.
I mean, I would like OU's odds, but yeah, I would think so.
Well, Oklahoma's defense is extremely good, but
I trust John Mateer more than I trust Carson Beck.
oh yeah, I think everybody in the country would trust John Mateer more than Carson Beck. But Miami can run the football. They fly off the
That is
rock,
true.
which is something that for some reason Oklahoma's offensive line hasn't been able to do. And I'm not trying to blame Bill Beatonbow, but I mean he is coaching those guys, so he needs to coach them the way that they had looked in the past.
Yeah, we'll see this weekend.
We're getting way off topic, but yeah, Miami, they're the number 2 team in the country as they should be. I let's say in the playoffs, if you're like, let's say Oklahoma, let's say we make the playoffs,
Mhm.
we go 10-2, and like just like in a fashion where, hey, this team like the only losses are to maybe like Tennessee on the road and Bama on the road.
Yeah,
Let's just say that they make the playoffs. Who are you more scared of, Oregon or Miami?
Miami.
Me too.
That's just well, I mean, that's simply just because I think Miami's the best team in football.
Between
I
them
think
and
OU
Ohio.
matches up well with Miami because I
What
think
about
it's strength on strength.
what about Ohio State?
Ohio State, I feel a little bit more confident in.
I don't know, man. Julian Sayans looked better and better and better.
Julian Saint has been getting
They
better.
they finally taken the
But
handcuffs off, and he's
what worries me about Ohio State is Jeremiah Smith and Bo Jackson,
it's Cornell Tate.
Cornell Tate.
He's
Like
just as
that.
good.
That would worry me for our secondary because I think our secondary still has a long way to
Ennis
go.
looks good too. I mean,
Ennis
their
does.
offensive line is pretty good.
I think Miami we match up better with though. Like I feel like we match up really good with Miami because it's strength on strength. Their offensive line is their strength. Our defensive line is our strength. Their defensive line is their strength. Our QB run game and quick pass game is one of our strengths. It'd be tough for us to do to run the ball normally, and I think our offensive line
I
has
think
potential to be really good. So
yeah, if we're going based off matchup, if our offense were to play Miami, I think one thing that would work in our favor is like the middle of the field downfield passing. Like
Jaron
with
Kane.
Mateer. Yeah. Kanik is a matchup problem for their linebacker, which he's a matchup problem for.
Most anybody. He's too big for a safety or corner.
I think Deion Burks is a mismatch for their secondary. Like his speed, I think if you get him, if you design plays to get him open, he's a mismatch. But Tony, their wide receiver, isn't an absolute mismatch for Corton Guillory.
Yeah.
Like he would not be able to block Tony. Tony's kind of is emerging as like one of the best freshman wide receivers.
Yeah.
He's very fucking good. And their running backs are good. They fight for extra yards. Miami's a good football team. And I was maybe just a year early when I was high on them. But they also had Cam Ward, and I was extremely high on Cam Ward.
I mean, they were very good last year too. They didn't have all the pieces.
Their defense was really bad, and then that's the one thing that they fixed.
Yeah, they're a lot more complete.
I need to
put Cam Ward on them now. That's far and away the best team.
Oh yeah, no, they're the best team, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
So you're right about that. But I wonder whatever Cristobal is doing with his offensive line, like we need to do the same. And I know that like it'll come. Like Foje and Fasusi are going to get bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah,
but
we still haven't seen the offensive line.
Michael is a junior, right? He can come back another year.
I think so. Yeah,
He needs to come back another year.
Yeah, he will. He's not going to go to the NFL after this year.
Okay.
He's not talented enough. But OU just offensive line, they have a long way to go, but they have all the pieces necessary.
Okay, we
very
don't need to talk about OU. We're way off topic. Sorry.
No, you're good.
What
other game you want to get into?
Well, because Penn State got beat by UCLA, and in fact they got embarrassed by UCLA. This team has kind of been like swept under the rug, or I mean, this game was kind of swept under the rug because everybody's going to be talking about Penn State. This team is extremely lucky that Penn State lost to the National they did, because if they didn't, they would be the talk of town. But Texas goes into the swamp against a 1-3 Gators team that hadn't looked very good. I mean, defensively they have, but offensively they've been struggling to kind of find a rhythm and get DJ Lagway going. Mm-hmm. And this is another one of those. The final score doesn't indicate just how dominant the winning team was. Yep. Florida wins 29-21 against Texas. Here's the thing with Texas. They've struggled all season with their offense, trying to find their identity. Are they going to be like a run-heavy team? Are they going to be a pass-heavy team? They're just consistently like that. Texas defense is on the field a lot because they go 3 and out, and they don't convert the fourth down if they do go for it. Yep. But one thing has been clear for this Texas team is that their defense has been really good. Yeah, one of the best defenses in the country. And that's something that you can hang your hat on as a Texas fan, because it's like, all right, well, that side of the ball we know is good. If Sark can get this offense going, then they have a chance to be back in the playoffs and contending for the SEC. Well, that just wasn't the case on Saturday, because Texas's defense looked very average. Yeah, Florida was running all over him. DJ looked good. He was passing all over them. Like, Florida looked like they had a 5-star QB, a 5-star running back, a 5-star wide receiver in Dallas Wilson, and then a top 10 offensive line. I had high expectations for Florida, even though I know who their head coach is, and I probably shouldn't have. But knowing that the talent that they have on both sides of the ball, I figured they were just going to be a much better team. They were going to win 8 or 9 games, and their losses were going to be, like 1-score games or by field goals. That hadn't been the case. But Florida looked dominant. They looked awesome. The crowd was pumped up. And Texas is in big trouble. Yeah. Texas is in big trouble. How much of this game did you watch?
So I watched a decent amount of it. I was flipping back and forth between the OU game and this one mainly. The thing that really stood out to me more so than anything else, what everyone had talked about, the saving grace for Texas all season had been that dominant defensive line. Their ability to generate pressure, get in the backfield, stuff the run.
Well, and their secondary, too. Apparently, their secondary was supposed to be top of the line, too. They had multiple guys that were 90 overall on the college football game. And then I think, what's his name? Muhammad? Is he still on the team? Who's the corner for them that's supposed to be like a preseason all SEC?
I can't even think about it right now.
And Michael Taft, they were around Michael Taft. But yeah, they got bullied.
Yeah, they had 0 sacks and 3 tackles for loss the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to win doing that. For comparison, Florida, who has a very good defense, had 6 sacks and 7 tackles for loss. Like, Arch had 2 pretty bad picks.
Well, here's the thing with Arch too. Like, he's the quarterback. He had all the offseason hype. He was, preseason Heisman favorite. He was supposed to be the second coming of Christ. Everybody kind of had him on. Yeah, they had him, touted as like nobody on their bingo book did they have Arch Manning as looking bad. I don't even think anybody had him looking average. I think everybody expected Arch to go in there and immediately, well, that's where we come in, and that's where Eddie Radosevic's comment, which he didn't even mean. I saw the Eskridge podcast.
I haven't
That
watched it yet.
that quote that he had, he basically said that wasn't because he thought Arch was going to be bad. It was just for the sake of the comedy of like what message boards would do if he doesn't end up playing like a Heisman favorite. Like people would start talking about him getting benched.
Yeah.
But that was basically his hot take. He even said, he was like, I didn't expect him to look this bad.
Yeah. Well,
But
he
dude,
even said then on SEC Media Days, he's like, Arch is going to be great. And they're going to start saying this, and these things are going to start coming up. And I don't think it's going to necessarily, A, be warranted, or B, be legit. But now it's like you're 5 weeks in. Texas is 3-2-1 in the SEC. They're no longer ranked. And their biggest problem has been their offense. I won't put it all on Arch.
well, that's what I was going to say. Like, their offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
They have taken a massive regression.
They have one returning starter.
Oh, my God.
And
This
look,
number's
here's
dead.
the thing. So Texas
Go ahead and talk.
had-
I'll be right back.
Yeah, so Texas had that great offensive line, right? They had the longtime center. They had Calvin Banks. They had great pieces on that offensive line. And when they recruited those guys, everyone's like, okay, like that's going to be your line for the future once they all are ready to play. One of the biggest problems with Texas since then is they landed that elite class, that elite offensive line class, and they almost gave up recruiting the offensive line. Now, they didn't literally give up, but they weren't recruiting the same type of talent, the same type of guys. They were settling for guys that they were missing. Think Fasusi, think Foje, think of some of these other guys that Texas has missed out on that have gone elsewhere. They've tried to load through the portal because they don't have the depth and the tools necessary. And you see what's plaguing them is a problem that plagued OU last year. OU had always been uber talented along the offensive line. And then I don't know if they got lazy or if they weren't recruiting to their standard or what it was.
Well, a lot of that was the
Year
Lincoln
one-
Riley problem. He wanted
That
to cut
was.
down on the number of offensive linemen. Yeah.
Yes, and you run into a depth issue. Depth issues along the offensive and defensive lines are the biggest killer for any football team. If you want to have a good, stout defense, obviously football is won in the trenches. That's the stereotypical thing. All football games are won by your offensive and defensive lines.
And the
But
quarterback.
stereotypes are true. And you see Texas, and they have a very talented defensive line, but when they keep getting thrown out there and thrown out there and thrown out there and thrown out there, they break. Same thing happened to OU last year. OU's offense was non-existent. The defense was, I wouldn't say elite, but very good most times. But when you get thrown out there again and again and again and again and again, you break. And so
Well, that's
Texas can't
a
run
big
the
reason
football.
why
They can't
Texas
throw it.
isn't very. I mean, we kind of touted them. I mean, they were the number one ranked preseason team, right? They
deserved
were
it.
they were preseason number one, and everybody.
Texas was preseason 1, Penn State was preseason 2, and now they're both unranked.
Yeah. Well, and it's because of how good Sark had been recruiting. They recruited all these 5-star guys. They were good in the trenches. Like they were able to develop the offensive linemen they recruited. Like Kelvin Banks is a 5-star. Kyle Flood did a great job of improving him each year. Cam Miller, who was their center?
I can't remember his name, but he was a dude that was there forever.
Yeah, and he ended up being Majors.
Connor Majors.
Was it Jake Majors?
Jake Majors.
Yeah, Jake Majors. But Connor was the backup, whatever his name was. And we touted them like as preseason number one, and I mean I didn't.
I didn't either.
I thought they'd be a 10-win team at best this year just because of how much they were losing on the offensive line. But in hindsight, the offensive line, like you didn't think like offensive line would be too big of an issue because you thought Sark's mastermind, that him as like a strategist and like playing the X's and O's. If he knew he was going to have a bad offensive line this year, he thought, well, he'll scheme something up to disguise how bad his offensive line could be. But when you really think about it, his offense works because of how good his offensive line had played. Like some of the things that he was able to dial up, like his creativeness, all gets thrown out of the window with an inexperienced quarterback like Arch because of how bad they've been. And Arch was getting pressured like every second. So I can't even listen, Arch, they lost like I don't think they lost because of Arch. Like absolutely not. Like they played bad as a football team altogether. And he did what he could to keep him in the game. He had some nice throws. He doesn't have very good pocket awareness, I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
They can't run the ball. They had 52 yards rushing. I think I had this written down. Like, you look at the teams that they've had the past couple of years, like, they had, like, probably the best roster behind, like, in 2023. In 2023, they had the best roster.
Yeah.
But they lost because quarterback play was kind of average.
Yep.
Last year, you can make an argument they had another top 5 roster. Well, obviously they lost because Ohio State was just better than everybody. They probably it's Ohio State and Texas were the 2 best teams in the country last year. Those are the only 2 teams. Like those are 1 and 2 for winning the national title this year.
Yeah.
Listen, you put Quinn Ewers behind that offensive line, it probably looks the same. Now he's more accurate than Arch. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
He's better at anticipating throws and like throwing to like before the route is open, he throws to a window. It's
but he also had 3 years of experience in that offense.
Yeah, true.
So I mean, a lot of that comes with just playing and playing and playing.
Does Arch transfer?
I don't think so.
No way, right?
No.
Like, do you think he goes to the NFL draft? Like, do you think any team's going to look at him and say, "Hey"?
No. He comes back next year. My thought is he comes back next year and tries to fix this.
What about they have a guy that they're really high on next year, Diabell.
Yeah, I mean, got a winning camp.
Yeah.
No, he might transfer. He might go, somewhere like I don't know, LSU maybe.
Well, it's just funny because in the fourth quarter, so like the last drive of the game, Arch gets sacked. He gets his helmet ripped off, and in comes Matthew Caldwell. The transfer. I think he went to was it Troy last year?
No.
This is great podcasting.
He was at Jacksonville State.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he did 1 year at Jacksonville State and 2 years at Gardner-Webb.
Okay. He came in and he threw and like his one pass was about as good as any pass Arch made in that game. Now the throw.
Oh no, it was Jacksonville State, Gardner-Webb, then Troy. You're right.
Yeah.
It was Troy last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say Arch did have there's a reason that guy was a 5-star. He had one of the prettiest on the run throws to Ryan Wingo for a touchdown. That's what's surprising is how average they look at some of these key positions. Like offensive line looks extremely below average. They look bad. Running back looks extremely average. Like Wisner's not a guy that I look at and go, damn, that guy's got juice.
I know. Well, everyone was so hyped on Quintrovo and Wisner last year. Everyone was in love with Wisner last year.
Well, it's because they had to because what's his name got hurt.
Jaden Blue?
No, not Jaden Blue. The other one, the big guy, CJ Baxter.
Yeah, CJ Baxter.
Is he still playing?
Yeah, he's still with Texas, I think.
I don't know why they're giving all the carries. Listen, Baxter.
I think Baxter played in the first.
Well, he's gigantic too. He's 6'1", 230 pounds. Let him run the fucking rock. He'll break tackles.
That's not what I wanted.
But Wingo's their only elite wide receiver. I like DeAndre Moore. I think he's a good wide receiver, but he's not a guy that you look at and go, yeah, that's a day 1 or day 2 pick in the NFL draft.
I agree.
Wingo, you can make an argument he's up there with Jeremiah Smith Cam Coleman and Ryan Williams in terms of talent. He's part of the same recruiting class.
Yeah.
Like, Wingo should be a star this year.
Yeah.
Route running, like his separation ability. I don't want to suck this guy's dick too much, but they're not very good.
Texas is just.
And I think Anthony Hill's regressed too a little bit. And like I had high expectations for him as a linebacker this year. He was all out of sorts.
This is going to sound like the most biased OU take of all time.
Now, granted, he had a bunch of tackles, but
Yeah,
that's because. But he also he was out of sorts at times, in Florida's run game.
This is going to be the most biased OU fan take of all time, but I see it happen every year. Texas constantly gets the best talent and doesn't maximize them everywhere. It's always been their biggest problem. That's why they've never been able to get over the hump.
Well, that was in the past.
It's still very much like that.
I think they're doing a very good job the past couple, in 2023 and 2024, they did a fantastic job of maximizing that talent.
They're much better, but they still left a lot on the table, in my opinion.
Like last year?
Yeah.
Well, they had to play Ohio State. They could have beaten them.
Matchup for matchup, yeah, they could have beat them, but they didn't. They shit down their leg in that game.
Yeah. I mean, Ohio State had the best roster in college football. Like them, Ole Miss, and in terms of rosters, on paper, Ohio State, Texas, Ole Miss, Alabama.
But it wasn't that far apart to where they're a few plays away from winning. And that's the thing. Is Texas is not.
They played Ohio State closer than anybody else, in my opinion.
They did.
In the playoff.
No, they definitely did.
We thought they were going to win that game at one point because they were just dominating Ohio State in the trenches.
Yeah, but my point has been it's almost like the Penn State argument, where they're doing a much better job at it now. It was their fundamental flaw in the 2010s. They couldn't do anything with the talent that they got, and it screwed them. And Sark's a very good coach, but it just always seems like Texas underutilizes what they have.
Well, then I guess the same point can be made for a lot of teams, especially Oklahoma. We've got a really, really talented roster this year. Michael Fasusi at left tackle, Jake Michael at center.
Jake Michael's not the biggest talent in the world.
Dude, maybe not the biggest talent, but he is a 6'5", super long arms, athletic center.
Yeah, he's playing well.
He's just not very good in the run game, but he is a stone.
He's not good in the run game, but he anchors in pass pro.
Yeah,
he can sit down.
And in terms of talent, Giovanni Gibson. You say what you want about his recruitment. In terms of talent, that guy his ceiling is up there with some of the best wide receivers in the country. Yeah. He just hasn't been able to show it because he's been hurt. Deion Burks, Satania. We have a bunch of talent too. We haven't been very good at maximizing it. Maybe this year we've done a lot better.
It's not the same talent though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not even.
Well, Jade Knott, wouldn't you rather, in terms of talent?
Jade Knott
over Wisner.
Yes, the Jade Knott thing wants me to just.
I thought he looked pretty good.
Sort of shotgun, but
I didn't watch much of Jade Knott at Cal, but I thought he looked good yesterday.
He did. I went and watched a lot of his tape at Cal. He's an open space guy, but we're getting off topic again. But my whole point is, I have always felt this about Texas, and it's always been the thing. It's the big money at Texas, everything's bigger in Texas, but so's the letdown. The letdown's always bigger in Texas, and it comes for them. And they're not a flawed program. I think this is not even a waste of a season. They could turn things around and be fine. It's going to take them a lot to be able to do that. I don't think they will with their offensive line. And they're favored this weekend, by the way, probably because no one knows the Mateer thing's up in the air.
Yeah,
but
if
I think it opened at 3.5. But
if Michael Hawkins plays, he's going to have to be nails. Well,
we're going to have to win 13.
The offensive line's going to have to be better. And I think a lot of that comes from Mateer. Mateer has control. when you're a good quarterback that has it, and you have control of the game, and you're able to tell your offensive line who to block, and that's what he's doing. The offensive line's just going to play better with the better quarterback.
Agreed.
So,
There's a lot more confidence when you're doing it with the guy that you've been doing it with, and that's been
that is going to make the right read and the right play. So
exactly.
Hopefully, I mean, it's not necessarily out of the table because of the way Texas has been playing so far, though. I mean,
no, I don't think so either. I think
we
OU
just
is a
have
really
to
good shot.
we got to run it down their throat. Like, we got to get Jaden Knott going. The offensive line has to be better at run blocking.
And if Hawk plays, he's got to put touch on his passes. He can't just throw fastballs.
Bullets. Yeah, I know. Or sidearm every single time. I've never seen him sidearm until yesterday's game.
Yeah.
Which some of them were pretty, but
yeah, he has one speed right now though.
He just needs to run the ball. Like, they need to do quarterback zone, like they did quarterback counter. Anyway, well, what were you going to say?
Texas? I mean, my biggest thing is they just like Texas is not flawed.
We
they
talked
have
a
an
lot about
opportunity to still play well, but I mean, Florida. There's not a whole lot for me about Florida. I don't think they're going to do much of anything. This is that one Billy Napier game, in my opinion. That
I mean, at the end of last season, they won all the games that they needed to get to a bowl game and win that bowl game. So, like this is
that's true, but like they have Texas A&M this weekend.
Yeah, that's
Mississippi State, Georgia. I mean, they'll beat Kentucky. Then it's Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. Like,
maybe they beat Ole Miss. It's not off the table.
It's not.
That Ole Miss team was a lot better last year, and they dominated. I know Chambliss is a better quarterback than Jackson Dart, but I don't know. Florida has a really talented roster. It is funny because I'd had that written down. Billy Napier, once again, should be gone, but the guy just continues to save his job. And I think that's a credit to the players. The players are playing for him,
True. Very true.
And sometimes, everybody always says that, well, your players are always going to play for you. Well, look at Oklahoma State. Look at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Arkansas. I mean, at times,
Virginia Tech.
Look at USC.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very true. Very true.
I think they believe in Billy Napier, and I don't know. I mean, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that he doesn't seem like head coach material, but whatever he does or whatever he says, his team likes him enough to, save his job. This is a good win for Florida.
Very good win. Yeah.
Everybody's going to say, well, Texas isn't that good. Is it a good win because they lost to South Florida and Miami and all these teams? But I think this is a good win because, again, Texas was still ranked. They were still
on paper, favored. It's a top 10 win.
Yeah. They were still favored in the game. So,
at the end of the day, any win in the SEC, almost any win in the SEC.
I'm excited for the Florida A&M game next week.
I am too.
Because A&M is looking a lot better on defense.
Yeah.
They finally are starting to figure it out.
This next week, week 7, we might have a 12-hour pod, dude. Week 7's got some bangers. Saturday.
Well, you know what? Real quick, before we get into the other ones, let's talk a little bit about the OU Kent State game. Do you
want to actually get into it?
Not super into it, but I have a few questions.
Okay.
Do you think at times they played soft, Oklahoma? Do you think that was by design?
I think it was more so by design. As beat up as we got through the Temple Auburn game, then the bye week, surviving the Auburn game, then the bye week, and then this game with the focus on Texas. Look, Dominic Williams and Jaden Jackson were healthy scratches.
Well, I think even after the Keontae Lewis scary situation, it was all right, let's do what we got to do.
Yeah, in the second half, it was a total, hey, let's just get this thing home and keep everybody healthy.
Because I saw a lot of people, and I am extremely critical of our offense, and I was extremely critical of Hawkins just because I know what he's capable of, so I'm going to nitpick him harder, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not doing that because,
tough love.
Yeah. I saw him on the field compared to Jackson on the field, Jackson Arnold last year, and it was I think Hawkins has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
it's because he's, dude,
mentally.
when he like runs the football, he's fast. Like he's an extreme threat with his legs. And I know Arnold's a pretty decent athlete. He's just not as fast. He's not as fast
Yeah.
as Hawkins.
Arnold's tough as shit, though.
Yeah. And in terms of arm talent, I think Michael Hawkins can absolutely rock. He has a rocket of an arm like Arnold does. And
Hmm.
he can absolutely rip it. He can throw on the run too. I think he can throw on the run better than Arnold.
His his throw on the run, especially rolling out to his right side, it's it's his best. It's almost his best throw.
Well, it almost feels mental for him, where like
It's
I
still too
don't
quick for him. It feels like.
I don't know if he believes he can be a good quarterback in the power four level just by the way that he's playing and like his progressions and his decision making. Like some of those balls that he threw were extremely, like one of them should have been picked off, like one of his sidearms.
Yeah.
It was extremely inaccurate. It's like it's Kent State. Like their defense is terrible.
Well, his biggest, and I think you're right about the mental thing. I don't know if it's so much of him not thinking he's good enough. I think it's too fast for him still. He has one, and Gabe said this on the radio. He has one speed, 100 miles an hour, 24/7, which is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Like the Keontae's, and you texted me about it. He didn't have to put that much zip on that ball to throw to Keontae. He almost could have just layered it up there and let him go run under it and get it. You know what I mean? And the throw to like carry on over the middle he had where it just went right off his face or right over his hands. I
Was it the
mean,
one that he caught?
no, it was the one that he caught. The one that he caught was an absolute missile too,
Dude,
but
it was
the
a
one that he
great throw though.
missed, it was a great throw. But the one that he missed, I think he missed a little bit high, and you don't want to miss high over the middle, especially when you're playing SEC competition. Is he just zipped it in there as hard as he could and didn't give him any touch? If he would have put a little softer ball out there, it probably would have got right to carry on. He could have hit him in stride and kept going. And so his biggest thing is, to me personally, it feels like it's all just too fast right now.
This over is dead, by the way.
100%.
I
But I'm
I'm
glad
close.
it's dead because I need, in fantasy, I need Drake May and James Cook to not do shit, and they haven't done shit. So
Those Bills uniforms would be so clean if like the chrome that they have, like the chrome Buffalo logo, if it was like a chrome like red and blue combined.
yeah, if they went full in with it and really got fancy,
Yeah, like if it was like the actual color of the team's colors, but like the chrome version of it, those ice whites
yeah,
would be so fucking sick.
1,000,000%.
Oh, that probably should have been a face mask. But yeah, no, I agree. Like I think a lot of people were excited and they said, "Hey, you should trust Hawkins in this football game." Like I saw Gabe Eichert and Teddy Lehman say that they have full trust and confidence in Michael Hawkins. I stayed back a little bit just because I I know what I saw last year. I know it's a completely different offense, but like the way that he went through his progressions, even last year, a lot of that takes a while to fix with the new offensive scheme. And he's
Mm-hmm.
got all the talent. He's he could be just as good as Mateer. I
Yeah. No, I 1,000,000% think it's
he's
purely inexperience.
I he's supposed to be the guy next year. Like this coaching staff believes that he's going to be QB1 next year, and they want him to continue to.
We should go get JKS from Cal.
Maybe this is nah. I don't know. You
uh,
need a gamer as like Oklahoma is at their best when they have like a Baker or a John Mateer. That's why like if Diego Pavia had another year of eligibility, he'd be the perfect get from Vanderbilt. Like you need kind of that
yeah,
underdog mentality with great leadership. That's why
it
Mateer
fits
works
the
so perfect.
program. It fits
Yeah,
the program so well because that's what the program's been built on for so long.
yeah.
That
Like
mindset.
guys that probably weren't highly touted but end up being unbelievable. Like him, Sam Bradford.
It'd be great. I don't know if he has any other. It definitely would happen because he's the king of his program. But Sam Levitt would be insane. Quarterback from ASU. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, him or Luke Altmaier.
Bryce Underwood. Luke Allmeyer would be fun. Just
Well,
give Bryce Underwood another $24 million.
Yeah, no shit. But listen, Hawkins. I mean, you almost wish he would have played in the Temple game. Like you want him to get as
Like
many
actually
reps.
played?
Yeah.
Because he did play, but not a lot.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like to start the third quarter, like you would have
Yeah.
wished Mateer sat and then you just played Hawkins because you want him to get the reps. Like you want him to get the connection with those guys, especially if he has to play against Texas.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. They got to figure stuff out. And everybody keeps saying like they're hopeful that the running game is going to get together. I'm just not hopeful in this offensive line being able to generate movement. The only two guys that I expect to generate any movement are true freshmen. They're not going to play much.
Yeah. Well, Susie's going to play a lot.
But you would want Foj out there too. Like,
yeah.
The only-
No, I agree.
like Heath Ozida is capable of it. We've seen what he can do as a run blocker. He can move people.
Yeah.
But I just don't think Fabechi, he's a much better pass blocker, and he's been the best offensive lineman for sure. But you also just need a center that can do it, and Michael can't really move people off the ball.
You know who I had a lot of hope for and may still potentially hope for him if they move him to center and things can actually go well. But right now,
EPL.
he just swings and misses every time. Every time he's out there, he swings with 150% and he misses 150%.
Well, and I think a lot of it is just, strength. Like he still needs to get stronger, and he still needs to work on his, like, who his assignment is. I guess I don't know. I don't know much about what it's supposed to look like with an offensive line, but or technique wise, I don't know what the technique is supposed to look like. So don't get me.
He doesn't ID guys well. He doesn't ID. It's between the ears. It's between the ears. He can't. From what I see, I might be totally wrong on this. From what I see is he doesn't identify. He doesn't know exactly what he's doing, and so he tries to go full brute force with everything, and so he gives it 150%, but he misses, and his technique lacks because he's trying to overcompensate by not being as mentally sound.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. But I don't know. I even with Hawkins, man, I'm hopeful with anything with this defense.
Yeah,
this defense
they're
can beat anybody.
They're just way too fucking good. And back in, the secondary has a little bit of issues, which is kind of surprising because the safeties, that was kind of one of the strengths coming into the season with this defense. Like you knew Robert Spears Jennings and Peyton Bowen. Like it was just no brainer with those two. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like there is something wrong with the secondary right now that they can easily clean up, and they should have a big day against Arch Manning in Texas. As long as you double team, if you could find ways, there's only two guys you need to worry about for Texas, and that's Ryan Wingo and DeAndre Moore. So you need to give a lot of help to whoever's covering Ryan Wingo.
The run game will be fine.
I would hope it's Gentry Williams. I would want Gentry Williams to be covering Ryan Wingo just because he's got the size and speed to match up. You kind of hope Eli Bowen plays.
Yeah.
And I want to see a lot of Kendall Dolby.
I do too.
Because you want Kendall Daniels out there, of course, but I don't think Texas has anybody that would warrant needing Kendall Daniels.
I don't feel like we've seen a ton of Kendall Daniels the last couple of games.
Well, yeah, because Kendall Dolby's back, and he just knows this defense so much better.
Yeah, that's fair.
To be honest, they need to rush Kendall Daniels. He needs to be rushed to the passer. They need to disguise. They need to run some stuff where they disguise him, maybe where he looks like he's going to blitz and then he goes to the flat. Because Brent Venables does a very good job of that. I don't know. I trust Venables to have a good defensive game plan.
I'm not worried about that.
Absolutely.
We'll be fine.
Maybe this is the game where Arch gets benched.
It'd be hilarious.
It could also be the game where it's a big letdown for us. I'm not throwing anything out of the table because in the Brent Venables era, unfortunately, the team will come out extremely strong the first 4 games, and then they just kind of disappear.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit different this year, though. We'll
Well,
see. We'll see.
it's different with John Mateer at the helm.
Yeah, that's true.
When we had Jackson Arnold and Dylan Gabriel, and Dylan Gabriel was a great quarterback. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. The team wasn't as talented then either. So
yeah, and that was my exact thought. The team wasn't as talented, obviously in 22 and then in 23. That
I would have no problems with this defense if we still had Bowman and Stutzman.
Oh, for sure. Well, honestly, I feel like Kobe and Kip, Danny's great, and Danny's a great leader, but I feel like the team defensively almost works a bit better with Kobe and Kip.
Well, they're just.
There's also more talent.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're way more talented. Like Danny,
all the guys
always knew
there's more returning guys.
Danny always knew what he was supposed to do. Like there was never a game where you went, he forgot this or he missed this assignment. Like that defense was so good last year because of him and what he was able to do in the run game and the pass game. Yeah, I think you're underselling Stutzman a little bit.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, yeah.
Danny's my guy, but I don't know. I think what it is, it's a combination of Kobe and Kip have been in this defense for 4 years, and then everybody else that's around them has also been in this defense for 2 to 3 years. And so I think that's the biggest difference. You're right. With Danny,
well, maybe we're missing Bowman a little bit more because there are times where
the back end communication hasn't been as good. And I think Bowman, if I could get one of the two, I'd take Billy over Danny, in my opinion. As much as I love Danny, I think I would prefer having Billy back because I think the communication in the secondary is a lot better. But I mean, Peyton and RSJ and Boganowski, Reggie Powers, they've all been really good. So
that's enough. That's enough. We'll talk about them heavily whenever we do our
preview.
Well, here, let's just go ahead and go down the list. We'll do a rapid fire real quick. With the ACC, obviously we talked Miami, Florida. Miami pulls out the win, 28-22. Pitt destroys Boston College, 48-7. Dalton.
What's up?
Dalton Berger.
Yes.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Why is he doing this to himself?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just like I saw so the guy that owns the Twitter account, No Context College Football, Liam Blutton with Barstool. Or he's also with Unnecessary Roughness. He was saying that there could be a case where Bill Belichick is completely ruining his legacy, and it's all because he has dementia. Like he has an unsolved case of dementia, and he is completely throwing away his legacy that he had of being this one of the best football coaches of all time. Dude, this is bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
And I know they're struggling right now because they're just not a very talented roster. We'll see what it's supposed to look like. I think he's kind of losing it because those last few years in New England didn't look good either.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely got his mind. His mind is not on football, and instead it's somewhere else.
He's trying to keep his mind young.
Yeah, you know where it's at.
I know exactly where it's at.
His mind isn't on the pig skin. There's another layer of pig skin that he's deep in right now. Can I ask you something?
What's up?
They're having sex, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah. Do you think they're fucking?
I would think so. I don't know. It's probably like that meme of Danny DeVito from that one movie.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. My assumption would be yes. This is going full Adam 22 podcast. My assumption would be yes. But
Well, no, we need to ask the questions that need to be asked.
you're right. You're right. We are a serious journalistic podcast, and we need to know all the facts about everything.
You know what?
What's
I
that?
don't know how real this relationship is with him and Jordan. I think they need to have a kid.
Yeah, that just like in Ted 2, when the relationship was souring, Ted and Tammy Lynn McCafferty decided to have a baby, and it fixed it. It did actually fix it.
Exactly.
Now he went through his court case, but the baby did fix the relationship at the end. So maybe you're right. I think you might be onto something now.
Yeah, either that or they need to put out. They need to put out a tape.
Maybe they should be. Maybe they should
out.
be an open couple, like a couple swingers. God, imagine pulling up to that fucking house. Holy shit, that would be pulling up with your love to have a swinging party with Bill Belichick, his 24-year-old wife.
Well, he looks confused out there on the field right now. I mean,
yeah.
Did you see all the North Carolina fans that just left the game, right before the second half or right before halftime?
Yeah,
their stadium was absolutely. It was empty. What happened?
Cameraman just got hit and got racked. Oh, he took it like a man. Cameraman on the side just got racked in the by the tip pass. Also, I do want to go ahead and point this out. I forgot to mention it. Did you see UCLA's field storming?
Yes.
There were like 15 people on the field.
Did you see? There was a photo that was posted, and it was like one of the sections of the Rose Bowl that was empty, and it just showed like the UCLA seats.
Yeah.
And somebody commented, and they were like, "Sick blew out."
That's good. That's funny.
Yeah, Clemson looked like a good football team.
It was 28-0 in a matter of minutes.
Yeah, this is, dude. I think it got to 38-3 at one point. Yeah, going into the fourth quarter,
yeah, they scored a late touchdown.
I don't know why he's doing this. And UNC was never a good football program to begin with, but they weren't this bad.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How pumped were UNC fans to go from Mac Brown to Bill Belichick, only for it to be this disaster?
It feels like going from bingo to solitaire.
No shit.
That's not necessarily that doesn't bring, outside of the blue pills, that's not putting a lot of lead in the pencil. Okay.
No.
On either side.
Do you think he takes Blue Chew when he's having sex?
He might.
Or do you think he just gets rock hard?
He might get rock hard. She might be bringing up defensive concepts, or she might hit him with a flag for unnecessary roughness. And he's like, "I'll show you unnecessary."
Yeah, roughness. But then she brings up his ex, Tom Brady,
or she starts asking him questions like it's a press conference, and he's like, "I don't know. I don't want to be here."
I can imagine that's how he is. He's like, "Oh yeah, this feels great." Yeah. Yeah, no, well, I just need to stick it inside, and I've got to penetrate. So
this has gone completely off the rails. No, North Carolina is, and likely will be a dumpster fire for the foreseeable future. I don't think it's 10 years.
Well, yeah, they were a broke down BMW, and then they fucking added tint to the windows, and that's it.
Yeah.
So you have a completely your engine. You have a blown head gasket, and what'd you do to fix it? You put new mirrors on.
Yeah.
Or new tires. So old, worn out tires.
Yeah.
It just looks bad. I don't know why he's doing this to himself, because everybody's going to throw it out there now. Everybody's saying, this is Bill Belichick without Tom Brady, and it's basically just a picture of.
At this rate, they should see if Brady has any eligibility left, just to see if they really are the magical duo.
Well, yeah, I think Pete Carroll is going to be asking questions to Tom after what just happened today with the fucking Raiders. God,
Very true. Very true.
Geno Smith is. They
Nah,
wrote him off, and he wrote back saying
definitely
you were
wrote
right. Anyway, yeah, just a disaster. Congrats on the sex with Belichick. You should probably retire.
the probable sex. We don't know if that's for certain.
Yeah.
The assumed sex.
Wake Forest, big win against Virginia Tech, 30-23. NC State destroys Campbell, 56-10. SMU does beat Syracuse, 31-18. Duke completely shatters Cal,
Mm-hmm.
45-21. Duke's a good football team.
Duke's a much better football team than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say they're a good. They are. I think they're a good football team. I think they win 9 games this season.
I can see that.
I think your ACC champ is in for a big test next week against Duke. The Yellow Jackets.
Yeah.
It's all
That's going to be a fun fucking football game, dude. Oh, my God.
And then they got UConn is 4-2.
I know.
So not just a Dan Hurley basketball school.
No, they are not.
And then the last game of the ACC, very, very. This is probably the best game in the ACC.
1000%.
Virginia 30, Louisville 27. This game should have been a bloodbath.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Like, I'm pretty sure Louisville completely outgained Virginia by a lot. I'm pretty sure they had like almost 400 yards passing, and oh no, never mind. It wasn't that. I every time I watched the game, it looked like Louisville was just picking up yards, but they would always make these catastrophic mistakes.
Well, I mean, they outgained them by 146 yards, or 146 yards.
Yeah, they only had like 50 yards rushing though.
Yeah, but they threw the ball like a motherfucker.
Yeah, Chandler Morris is fun to watch, dude. He is just, he always makes the big play when you need him to. Miller Moss probably. Miller Moss had the like dumbest play I've ever. He had a Will Levis type football play in this game. Did you see it? He was getting sacked, and like basically was trying to keep himself.
Yes, I did see it.
Or
that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, his hand touched the ground, and it was funny because he was trying to keep himself up and make a play, and he as he's falling to the ground, he just throws it right to the Virginia linebacker, or I don't remember if it was a linebacker or a corner, but it was such a bad pass. It was funny because I guarantee you if let's say he throws an incomplete pass, he's probably looking at the ref and he's like, I wasn't down, because his hand touched the ground, the back of his hand, so that means he's down if I'm not mistaken. But he's probably arguing to the ref at that point, oh, I wasn't down, it was incomplete. When they were reviewing the play to see if he was down after he threw the pick six, he was arguing to the ref, I was down.
Yeah,
he's like, I was down, it didn't happen. Yeah, just
it almost felt like at that moment it fully swung on the momentum, and then Louisville was really able to counter back and push into OT. But that was a hell of a game. That game was so fun. Oh my god, it was so fun.
Just super back and forth. Well, I say that it was. Well, I mean, it was super back and forth.
It was. I
was trying to think, but at one point
at halftime,
I'm pretty sure at one point it was the third or fourth quarter, I don't remember, but Virginia kicks a field goal to go up 24-14, and it was like, okay, Virginia's going to win this football game. And so for Louisville to push back the way they did, Louisville's they're just in these really fun football games.
Yeah.
So is Virginia. Virginia's a good football team. So to those. I think there was a few people that were high on Virginia this year and thought they were going to be a contender for the ACC. I know Brandon Walker was one of them. He had He had talked about it way in the preseason. I think a few other people thought.
Oh wow, a rare Brandon Walker hit.
Yeah.
Not that.
Well, he said it in the preseason. I remember watching an episode because he was also super high on Clemson. Who was it? Clemson, Texas, and Penn State.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure he's had to come out and say, I completely missed, which we do. Everybody does that.
I can't stand him. I don't like him.
I like him.
He annoys the piss out of me.
I like him. He's funny.
Good, though. Yeah. A whole unnecessary roughness. They piss me off. But anyway.
No, I like
Too
him
much
now.
of a. That's I haven't seen.
They've added some really good. Obviously, I mean Casey's still there, Brandon's still there, but they've added 3 new people. They got T-Bob, the old LSU player that was with Aaron Murray on that podcast.
Oh yeah.
T-Bob's super cool. Blutman is a ball knower. Shout out to unnecessary roughness, but no, I've come around on Brandon Walker. He's funny.
We'll see. Anyways,
I know you don't like anybody that
I don't like fun.
has an opinion. Yeah,
you're right. I don't like opinions and I don't like fun.
Yeah,
I want facts.
I don't know why you want facts.
Fact.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know why I do
Carfax.
I don't know why I do a podcast with you then. I'm trying to have fun.
That's because we work well together. We have fun. Like Bill Belichick and his wife. Not the same kind of fun.
Oh,
but
Jordan Belichick?
Yeah.
She's probably written that down in a few of her journals.
Probably.
But that's it for the ACC. In the Big 12, BYU is continuing to prove me right and prove you wrong. They are a good football team. Sneaky 5-0. They wwon 38-24 over West Virginia.
Sneaky.
So, how did West Virginia beat Pitt? That's crazy.
I have no idea.
Any given Saturday, dude. You got to take these games are all. You got to take it, put it all in a vacuum.
It's a 1 week season every week.
Yep. No, it sure is. You just never know who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Yep.
So that's why it was fun to pronounce Bama dead. But I remember after the episode that we did, I was like, probably not going to come back to bite us.
They are not dead.
Yeah. So you just never know. I think we could say that with Texas.
Yeah, that's like what I was getting at earlier. I think Texas and Florida, like as you were talking, they're still like these teams are uber talented.
Well, they're not a dead program. They're just not. They're dead for the season.
Right.
So, right. Anyway, yeah, BYU beats West Virginia. They look really good. I think they're going to be in there with the rest of the like my top 5 in the Big 12 are, obviously the best team in the Big 12 right now with Texas Tech. They just look unstoppable. I think they're going to win it. I think BYU is right up there with them, and who's the other one? Cincinnati.
Yeah, I agree. I was way wrong on Cincinnati.
So, Texas Tech pummels Houston 35-11. I think it's safe to assume that they're going to win the Big 12, but you never know. It's like you said, it's week by week.
Mm-hmm.
Any given Saturday, buddy. So, dude, Cincinnati has been very impressive since their loss to Nebraska. I think if they replayed that game, Cincinnati probably wins.
They might. They look like a damn good team. They are very undisciplined, though.
Yeah.
Lots of penalties.
Yeah.
But
Rocco Beck had a really good day, but it wasn't enough. Cincinnati wins 38-30. Sorsby just had some awesome throws. I mean, so did Rocco Beck. And it looked like Iowa State was going to come back and mount a comeback, but not really. That game was out of hand.
Yeah.
I think at one point, it was like 31-7 at one point.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
Yeah.
At all.
Like, Iowa State scores that touchdown going into halftime. I think there was 2 seconds left on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Cincinnati, they're just a good football team, and they're going to be right up there with Texas Tech and Utah and BYU, like we mentioned earlier. What a thriller of a game that was Arizona and Oklahoma State. 41-13. Now, Oklahoma State, if they don't get this coaching hire right, uh, dead program? Question mark.
Probably. I would say they're a dead program
Yeah.
if they don't get it right.
Who would have thought? Like, well, let's talk about the next game too. Baylor, Kansas State. Shout out to Baylor for
That I would say that was the opposite of the Arizona Oklahoma State game. That game was crazy.
yeah. Is Sawyer Robinson the best quarterback in the Big 12?
No.
You think it's
My money would be on either Sorsby or Baron Morton.
I'm taking Rocco Beck over all those guys. I think Beck is the
Very
best.
No,
You give Rocco Beck the same receivers that he had last year, like Jaden Higgins and Noel, and those massive, awesome tight ends that he has, he's probably winning the Heisman.
That's fair.
And I mean that. Hook me up. Shoot me up with some sodium pentothal. Truth serum. Truth serum. I think he's still the best quarterback in the Big 12. And I think he's going to take Brock Purdy's place as a starting quarterback for the 49ers.
You mean Mac Jones' place?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's Mac Jones lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Speaking
I think Rocco Beck is also just a better quarterback than Brock Purdy. At Iowa State. Like Brock Purdy at Iowa State, I think Rocco Beck is better at Iowa State.
The biggest problem with Brock Purdy at Iowa State is he always had that failure. He always had that blunder.
Yeah, he always had that weird, like he would just have these wild plays where it's like, my God, no wonder he was such a highly touted quarterback. And then he would just have a play that just made you scratch your head. It's crazy that he hasn't really had any of those in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It almost felt like he tried to do too much at Iowa State sometimes. But.
Yeah. But Sawyer Robinson, there's some good quarterbacks in the Big 12, dude.
There are.
That's why it's such a fun conference to watch. I didn't get to watch a lot of Big 12 this weekend.
I didn't either.
I wanted to because Oklahoma was on a bye, but I needed to know what Texas was going to look like. And then the UCLA game was happening, and I just couldn't turn away.
Yeah.
So TCU beats Colorado. 35-21. TCU sneakily 4-1. Kansas beats UCF. I'm starting to be more down on Kansas week by week.
Yeah, it's not as fun as it was.
Yeah, which sucks. Sometimes
still got a shot always with Jalen Daniels though.
Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you don't. Again, that's why they were a sleeper. I didn't pronounce them Big 12 champs, but I did have them in. Tech and I think it was Utah and I'm sorry, I had Arizona State and Kansas in the Big 12 title game, but
yeah,
hey, it happens. Oh, Texas Tech just signed the number one interior defensive lineman. I think in the 2027 class or 2026.
Oh, he just committed.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I did not do that.
Throwing out the old oil money, the Raider Rash money.
Ridiculous.
So now they have Felix Ojo and him.
Well, we'll see if it works out for him.
Yeah. They just need to. Morton, he doesn't have any more eligibility left, so they're going to have to find a quarterback next year. But who would have thought, dude? Like Oklahoma and Texas leaves the Big 12, and Kansas State and Oklahoma State are just crumbling.
But yeah, and I mean, my pick was Utah to kind of run the Big 12, but even they've been good, but they haven't been the same.
I still had Oklahoma State. I thought this is the perfect opportunity for them to win recruiting battles. Like, no, Texas Tech has taken full control of that. And so is Utah. But like Kansas State, they're in a much better position than Oklahoma State is. They just have a quarterback problem.
They have a quarterback and offensive coordinator problem.
Yeah, they just need to get back to what they used to be.
Yeah,
but Avery Johnson, they got to move on from him. He too many ups and downs.
I never liked him.
Never. Well, I liked him his true freshman year when Will Howard was the starter, they'd bring him in and they would run. They would like let him run and run the offense that they always did, and it was, you know, it. He was doing exactly what they had always done, and then they just completely got away from that, and they let him throw the ball, and it just doesn't look good.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Avery Johnson's too up and down. I mean, he had a good game too. I mean, other than completing 29 of 45 passes, like he had a bunch of yards. He had some good throws, but then again, like he just that interception was very bad.
Very bad.
So, but yeah, that's it on the Big 12. Do you have any thoughts on any of those games?
No, I didn't see a ton of them.
Okay.
I saw the main one I saw was Iowa State Cincy. I was kind of locked in on that one.
Yeah. Big Ten. So Ohio State completely murders Minnesota. Good call. 42-3.
Yeah, I nailed that fucking cover. Oh, damn.
Yeah. Julian saying, like, they've taken off the handcuffs. He looks great. Not that, and I say that, like, not that he's Caleb Williams or, Johnny Manziel, but he's Jared Goff. Like, he's just really efficient.
Yeah, he's
And
a very efficient quarterback.
it helps when you've got the best wide receiver group in college football.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair to say, right? With Carnell Tate's a number one anywhere else in the country, and I think so is oh god, what's his name?
Brandon Ennis.
Yeah, Brandon Ennis. In which he only had like 2 targets, or I think he only had 1 target. But he I mean, it's just hard whenever you've got Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, and Quincy Porter.
Yeah.
Like those 3
Carnell
guys.
Tate had an insane fucking game too.
Yeah, he's a number 1 receiver anywhere else in the country. Mm-hmm. He's a number 1 receiver at OU.
Yeah,
like between him and Giovanni Gibson. Brandon Ennis would probably be a number 1 anywhere else too. He's a 5-star guy who looks like he's going to have an impact. Quincy Porter would be a number 1 anywhere else. And their defense is really good. Sonny Styles, he's been an awesome linebacker. Obviously, Caleb Downs is still incredible. I've been really surprised with how fucking good. Oh God, he transferred from West Virginia.
CJ Donaldson.
Yeah, CJ Donaldson has been.
Yeah, Bo Jackson's kind of their future running back though.
Was it Donaldson?
Yeah, he was the guy that transferred from West Virginia.
No, on their edge rushers, they had a transfer. I don't know if it was from West Virginia or somewhere else.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, I don't know.
Was it Caden McDonald?
Awesome.
Yeah, let me look that up real quick.
I honestly have no clue.
Where did he play last year?
Cade McDonald put it up on Ohio State last year.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
CJ Donaldson. Yeah, he's the guy from West Virginia, but I'm trying to think of. I swear they had some guys in the transfer portal at the.
Well, their whole defensive line is built out of the transfer portal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Ohio State's really fucking good. I think there's like maybe 2 teams in the country that can give them a shot, a run for their money. And then as far as like a team that isn't as talented as them, like Oklahoma is the only other team that I can think of that could put up a good game against them.
Yeah. I think Lorenzo Styles came from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years ago. He played at Ohio State last year. He's a corner. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking about their not Lorenzo Styles. I'm just thinking about they had some guys. I don't know if it was interior or the edge rushing spot that they got from the transfer portal. They've been pretty good. But yeah, they just smoked Minnesota. They're the best. Ohio State's the best team in the country until they're not.
Yeah, I agree.
Between them, Miami, Oregon, and I guess right now Texas A&M.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see how Texas A&M falls off. We talked about UCLA versus Penn State. Awesome game. Illinois smacks Purdue.
Yep.
I like Brent Bielema. I think he's a great coach.
I do too.
For the talent that he gets at Illinois, he's done a great job of bouncing back since that.
Yeah, I would say really impressive for them to bounce back after getting just waxed by Indiana.
Molly whopped, yeah. Northwestern smacks UL Monroe. Nebraska beats Michigan State 38-27. At one point, it was getting
Yeah,
worrisome from Nebraska. Like
yeah. I mean, it was
they're still, what'd you say,
21-21 heading into the fourth.
are they still just 1 year away, or are they 2 years away?
I don't know. They might be. They're 1 to 2 years away. 1 to 3, anywhere between 1 and 3.
Now they're 4-1, so they could easily win 9 games if they just,
Yeah, their schedule's not that bad.
yeah. Um, I have kind of expected more from Raiola, and not that I thought he was just going to be like a world beater, but like for being Patrick Mahomes Jr., you expect him to be just so much better
Yeah,
than.
that's the. It feels like there's been a trend in college football where these big time quarterbacks just haven't really panned out. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's been like a weird development thing.
I'm pretty sure he was the number one quarterback in the.
As a class,
Was he?
I think
Let's look
so.
up 2024
I believe he was,
QB class.
but
Oh no. DJ Lagway was. So
that's right.
it was DJ and then Dylan Raiola and then Julian Sand.
Yeah,
So yeah. CJ Carr was number 6. How about that?
yeah. No, I remember. I remember when Notre Dame landed. He was a big time guy, big time get.
Yeah.
Um,
It's crazy that Julian Sand was like basically like in the top 3. Like he transfers from Bama, and Ohio State was very excited about Aaron Nolan. They thought that guy was going to be the next CJ Stroud. Julian Sand was so good that they made that guy transfer out.
yeah,
I still don't know how good Sayan is because he's looked extremely impressive the past couple of weeks. I guess I need to see it against like a big time defense because it didn't look very good against Texas, and I guess maybe they had the training wheels on him a little bit.
yeah. It was also his first start.
That's true.
So as he develops more, I mean,
Let's
they're
see what
going to
it,
have a big time game, but
let's see what it looks like against like a Florida defense and Oklahoma defense. Which that's stupid for me to say. If you can ball out, ball out. I'm being way
yeah.
too picky. He's a good.
Well, the thing about him that's promising is he's gotten better every week.
Yeah, that's true.
Not many quarterbacks have done that.
Yeah. Michigan, honestly, this was a lot closer of a game until the end. But
Yeah, but it felt like Michigan was in control.
maybe
Watching
once it
it.
got to the second half, but in the first half, it was 10-7, and you can say that Michigan had control of that game, but it felt like Wisconsin constantly was about to score.
Yeah, but the fact that they never could, like, I
Yeah.
was watching it and I was never threatening Wisconsin at all.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Bryce Underwood. I think he's being held back by his head coach.
Think so?
Yes. We know what he's capable of. I know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
And I know I'm basing it off his high school tape and that he was the number 1 recruit in his class and the number 1 quarterback. I've never seen a quarterback at the high school level read a defense and throw with anticipation the way that he does. Like he was making like high level throws and high level reads and throwing with precision, time, and anticipation like he was in high school.
Yeah.
It feels like Sherrone Moore is holding him back. It really does.
Was Sherrone Moore even on the sidelines for this game, or is his
No, he was.
served? Okay.
He
I didn't know
was.
if he had served his suspension. I didn't. I was paying attention, but I never picked up on that. I never noticed.
And I know the Oklahoma game happened. Like he was never going to light it up against Oklahoma. Like
Yeah.
the way Oklahoma's defense played that game, it just wasn't going to happen. But he had it, and I know their run game is really fucking good. So why let him throw the ball 1,000 times? But he's a true freshman. He's going to have to go up against Ohio State soon. Like he's supposed to be the future of their program. Let him sling it. Let him make mistakes. Like what are you going to coach? Like how can you watch film and know what to correct and know what to coach him on if you're not letting him play?
Yeah. I get that.
It's kind of the
I've
harp
seen
that I had
him.
with Ben Arbuckle against Kent State. It's like, let the guy like do some like high level like plays. Like, let's see what we can correct with Michael Hawkins.
Yeah.
Which offensive line didn't play very good, but that's just how I feel with like Bryce Underwood. I think he has the potential to be the best quarterback in the country.
No. 1,000,000%.
He's
Easily.
athletic. He can run. He can absolutely rip it. I've seen him make like high level, like NFL type throws, like Jared Goff type throws.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even joking when I say that. Like I've seen him be able to throw with time and anticipation. Let him do it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that or no?
No, the thing with Bryce that I've
Justice
seen
Haynes
kind
is
of just like Julian.
incredible. He's like
Huh?
the least talked about running back in the college football.
Yeah, no,
Justice
he's
Haynes.
been great. He seems to break one every week. But the thing with Bryce is I feel like he's also been actually like truly steadily improving from week to week. You've seen him develop his game week over week. I
Well,
know
yeah,
they
he
haven't done
has.
a whole, but he's a true freshman. I don't expect him to do a whole lot. I just expect him to get
But
better.
that's not the
And
point that I'm making. Like the point that I'm making is it's like I want to see him
well,
like
I know you're
run.
thinking like trial by fire, learn through error, like fuck up so you have something to fix. But I think like through constant development, I think keeping his confidence high and having him, consistently make the right reads, he's going to learn it through action and by doing it. At least that's my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, you have a point there. You have a point.
But I mean, there's also like you saw with the OU game, they got flustered, they were fucking up, they couldn't do anything. He was getting upset, and they, the team handled it on the sidelines, and they were having conversations about it. They were getting mad, they were getting angry. But I mean, they've turned around
well, never felt
today.
like Bryce was. Bryce like, seemed pretty composed.
Yeah, but I mean, like as
The
a
rest of
team,
the team,
like
yeah.
that's where you see like his, like he stayed calm in that, and that's a thing you don't get often from young quarterbacks. And so through that, like it seems like he's been steadily improving week to week. But
Well, I agree. Like he has improved, but I just think they're making it.
too easy.
They're. I think they've got a leash on him right now, and they just need to go ahead and unclip it and just. I want to see what this kid can do. And I know we need to see what he can do because we play in Ann Arbor next year, so we need
Yeah,
to know what to defend and like how to stop him if he does get unleashed. Or maybe they're
yeah,
saving it for against Ohio State. Who knows? I think they're better off hiring an offensive guru. Keep the same game plan. Like they are a run heavy team. Like they need to be dominant in the trenches and have the run game that they have now.
mm-hmm.
But they need to bring in a guy that they need a really good passing games coordinator, maybe. And just let
Yeah,
him run his offense. But Sherrone Moore, like, listen, I think he's a good coach, and they're finding a way to win these games. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it a little bit.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think this year was also for Michigan. It was never going to be their big year. I think everything's kind of been targeted for 26 for them to really explode.
Yeah. Well, maybe they do need like a true legit threat at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think they've got a good tight end. So okay, last game. Listen, UCLA fans are like you could say that Penn State fans and Texas fans are the biggest loser of the weekend, and that they suffered the worst loss. Dude, Maryland was up 20-0
Yeah.
in the third quarter on Washington and just completely fell apart, which was crazy. Farouk had a good game, didn't he? He had like 10 receptions, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he?
No, he had 8 for 51.
But yeah, no, I mean they were in total control, and then
Shit down their leg.
24 unanswered. I stopped watching. I stopped paying attention to it.
Yeah, you felt confident about your hungry
I
dog.
felt very confident in my underdog. I should have ended up going with Wake Forest.
Which, credit to Jed Fish in Washington for never giving up
Yeah,
and coming back to win that game. That's
they're
just a
legit.
credit to their culture and that program that Jed Fish has built there. You know who the big loser in all this is?
Who's that?
Steve Belichick. He had it made at Washington,
He did. He did.
but no, he just let Daddy, you know, pull out the Indiana Jones whip on him. You come play for me. You completely ruin your legacy.
You think he's using the Indiana Jones
You
whip at home?
you lip licking cousin fucker.
But yeah, no, bad look for Maryland. That fucking
Yeah,
sucks.
absolutely. Let's get to a real conference. The MAC. Actually, we can just go ahead and go through real quick with the MAC. 40. We already talked about this. Oklahoma destroys Kent State 44-0. Ball State beats Ohio 20-14.
20 unanswered in the second half too.
Yeah, kind of a surprise because I thought Ohio was going to win this game,
I agree.
but it is what it is. That's why the MAC is fun. Western Michigan beats UMass 21-3. Akron beats Central Michigan 28-22. I know Central Michigan has 3 wins on the year, but I don't think they're a very good football team.
I don't think so either.
They just don't really seem like it. Like the I know they had to play Michigan in the beginning of the year and they got smoked, and they had to play Pitt too.
Yeah.
But their best win is against Eastern Michigan,
Probably.
which was a good win for them, I guess. Well, maybe not, because Eastern Michigan is
Only 1-5.
yeah, they're 1-5. I thought they were
Just
going to
lost
be a
to
better.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be a better. Which Buffalo, like, I'm surprised they came back and won that game.
I know.
They got really lucky at the end because I turned it on and Eastern Michigan missed the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they got very lucky there. But Buffalo wins a thriller in overtime. My second hungry dog, Northern Illinois. I don't know what's going on with them.
Bad.
How do you have such a
Bad football
good
team.
season last? Like, you had such an awesome win against Notre Dame. Like, your program is going in the right direction.
Well, I mean, the transfer portal. I think their coach was pretty open about how the transfer portal really hurt them.
Yeah.
They got ripped apart by the portal.
Well,
So,
yeah, they did.
Having to rebuild essentially every year is really tough.
But even with like the transfer portal issues, Tommy Hammock is still like supposed to be one of the top coaches in the MAC. Like, he's supposed to have his team going. They should have the good enough talent.
That's fair. I think when you have to rebuild year over year, you're gonna have these kind of blunder seasons.
Yeah, you got a point. The actual conference, the Pac-12. No, I'm kidding. Nothing happens in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
So sad that we
Unless
don't
it's
get
dark.
Pac-12. Yeah. Well, not even that.
Not
anymore.
even that. Yeah, not even anymore.
Yeah. Not much happened in the SEC because I think
A lot of teams are on a bye.
Yeah, a lot of teams are on a bye, but obviously Oklahoma destroys Kent State. Florida beats Texas. We already talked about that. Oh, looked like what was going to be a super close game with Alabama and Vanderbilt, and then Alabama just kind of pulls away. They said, we're the better team. We're more talented than you. And Ty Simpson is like slowly becoming one of the best quarterbacks in the country.
Yeah. That's kind of what I expected to happen, though. I mean, I thought Vandy would cover, but I kind of expected Alabama to just.
Here's kind of what I think about Bama this year. So last year, they had this extremely talented roster. A lot of people said that they were a roster that could win a national title, and I agree with that. I think they definitely had the roster, and the roster this year is just as good, if not better. But you start to think about it, and you're like, well, how come they're like last year? Like, they lost to one of the worst Oklahoma teams that they've had since the John Blake era. And, they lost to Vandy and they got pummeled by Michigan in the bowl game. Like, what's going on? Quarterback. Because with Jalen Milroe, you get a much higher ceiling. He's one of the most athletic quarterbacks in football, not just the NFL or college. Last season, he was a mutant. 6'3", 240 pounds, runs a 4.3, massive arm. I mean, he can rip it 90 yards down the field. But his inconsistencies really hurt that team.
Yeah.
And he just wasn't as efficient. Like, he couldn't run that, Kalen DeBoer offense the way that Ty Simpson can. And you get a lot less mistakes from him.
Yeah.
He threw an interception in this game that wasn't great. I think it was just a better play by Vanderbilt than it was a bad throw on Ty Simpson. But like, this is what the Ryan Grubbs, or this is what the Kalen DeBoer offense can look like when you bring back Ryan Grubbs and you have a quarterback that is going to make less mistakes.
An efficient quarterback in the Kalen DeBoer offense is the key to unlocking it.
Well, that's why Washington, with Michael Penix, was able to make the national title. Now, Ryan Grubb is going to get a big opportunity soon. I just think him being able to scheme matchups, he's a very smart coach. I think it's more personally Ryan Grubbs than it is Kalen DeBoer. Like, in terms of the Kalen DeBoer's the head coach. He's the one that brings in the talent. He's the one that created the offense. But
Ryan Grubb runs it really well.
Yeah, Ryan Grubb is just very good at running it and know what he should do on third down, what to do, to start a drive. And if the sequencing goes well, he's on fire. So, yeah, Alabama's a damn good football team.
So is Vandy.
No. Vandy is a good football team. Johnny Manziel wearing the Pavia jersey kind of maybe killed that team. It killed the momentum. Did you see him getting into an altercation with one of the fans or whatever?
I did not know.
The texts that were going back and forth. Manziel was basically telling the guy, "Fuck you, fuck off," and sent the video with the middle fingers. It was funny.
That's so funny.
It was a good game until it wasn't a good game, and Alabama just pulled away, and they're slowly reminding everyone why they're not dead. I just wonder, can DeBoer run Alabama? Because I think he's a great head coach, but can he take all of the history and everything that comes with the Alabama head coaching job? And
I think Kalen DeBoer do just fine. We kind of talked about this before. I think Kalen DeBoer do just fine in Alabama. I think people need to temper expectations and realize that that era of college football is over.
You're asking Alabama fans to temper their expectations?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, that era of college football dominance.
Do you know the state of Alabama?
No, I do understand. But
listen, Auburn, they created a false story about their head coach having an affair just to get him out of the building.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I completely understand. I'm just saying, no one's ever going to be Saban. That'll never happen again. And so, if they want, Kalen DeBoer is going to be very successful at Alabama. It's just not going to look the same. And I know that's not fun. I mean, it's fun for everybody else not named Alabama. But
it's like asking OU fans to temper their expectations with Brent Venables because Bob Stoops won all these Big 12 championships and won a national title, and he was a defensive coordinator. So it's like, well, maybe we should temper our expectations with the new era of college football. And we're like, hell no. If we don't win a national title, he's out in 6 years.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's the fun part of being a college football fan is, especially being a blue blood fan of a blue blood. It's like every year's your year. But
can they win the SEC?
Yeah, 100%.
I think they're probably
they can win the national title.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you needed somebody other than Ryan Williams to emerge for them at wide receiver, and Jeremy Bernard
Bernard's very fucking good.
He has been incredible. So, and he was a highly touted recruit, so you needed that. Mm-hmm. They just continue to recruit well. That game in Tuscaloosa is going to be fun. That offense versus Brent Venables' defense.
Yeah, I won't. I'll probably go nonverbal.
Yeah, no, me too. That's going to be a scary game. Yeah, I guarantee you they have that game circled on their calendar. Now, I think they still need to figure it out with running back. Not that Jam Miller isn't a good running back. There's a couple times where he misses the open hole.
Yeah.
So they're missing.
He's very explosive when he's got space, though.
Yeah. That is true. Okay. Other than that, so yeah, Alabama, very impressive win. They're right back into the mix of things.
Mhm.
Um, Georgia pummels Kentucky. Kentucky's, they are what they are. Unfortunately, they're
Yeah.
always going to be the one of the top basketball schools. That's what they. At least they still got that. I listen
Yeah.
to Kentucky sports radio at the end of the basketball season every once in a while. It's fun to listen to the old. Like Oklahoma has a bunch of old heads that have been fans forever.
Yeah.
Kentucky's the same way with basketball. Like you've got old Joanne Smith getting on there. Kentucky basketball isn't the same. And then last game, Texas A&M. It was a really fun game to start with Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Looked like it was going to be back and forth, but Texas A&M just completely runs away with it. Mississippi State they couldn't score, and that's a credit to Texas A&M's defense. They're very good. It's crazy, like who's good and who's not. Like we all thought, you know, Texas A&M was going to be a middle of the pack team, and they're 5-0, and they could easily be an 11-1 team with how good their offense is playing. And
Yeah.
with Marcel Reed, I got to give him credit. He's gotten a lot better.
He has. He has. I've
They
always been like,
they hit on both of their portal wide receivers too.
yeah.
Mario Craver and KJ Concepcion are fantastic.
I've always liked Marcel Reed, but I've always wanted to see more from him.
And you're
I've
you're
always had,
starting to.
yeah, he's starting to kind of turn that corner now.
And Le'Veon Moss is still really fucking good.
He is. He is. This game felt closer for a while. I mean, it was 14-3 at the end of the third quarter, but it was
Well, no,
14-3 at the end of the third quarter, but like
it
Mississippi
felt like
State felt like
Mississippi
had no
State.
shot.
Yeah, well, no, it felt like all right, their defense is doing everything they can to keep them in this game. Like knowing this offense, like Mississippi State is going to score at some point. Like they're going to lead a drive, and they just never did. And that's just a credit to Texas A&M. I mean, they've spent a ton of money to get top 5 classes the past like 5 years, and you know, I don't even think they had a top 5 class in 2024 or 2025, and Mike Elko's done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So good for him. Is it weird that Manziel was at the Vanderbilt game but not the A&M game?
Yeah, I don't know. It is, but it isn't because like that's kind of the whole thing everyone's talking about is like Vandy embodied that Manziel spirit whenever they beat them, and him and Pavia have taught. I believe. I think they're like close friends. So it is, but it isn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Pavia was decent in that game.
Yeah,
I think he was okay.
I didn't see a ton of it. I was watching mainly the OU game.
Yeah. He was okay. I mean, he didn't, just completely he didn't
He
go
didn't do
full
a
Diego
run
Pavia
game.
mode like he normally goes, but
Yeah.
well, they had that long like 65-yard touchdown to go up first.
Yeah,
So, but then with the Mississippi State game, so before we end the podcast, because I know we've gone longer than we thought we were going to end, Texas A&M has and by the way, Le'Veon Moss wasn't even their leading rusher. It was Reuben Owens. He had an unbelievable game. They've got Florida next week. At home, they probably win that game, right? I think A&M beats Florida.
yeah, no, 100%.
I think they smoke Arkansas, and then they've got LSU on the road. They're probably going to win that game, unless LSU's figured it out on offense, which I doubt they have.
I mean,
think
A&M's got a realistic shot at.
there's only one team. There's only one game that I can see as a loss.
Missouri.
Yeah, only because it's on the road. If it was at Kyle Field, I think they
Mhm.
beat Missouri. They can realistically go 11-1 if all things equal they don't break down like they normally do.
Yeah,
they
no,
feel
for
like
sure.
a BMW. They feel like a Beamer, right? They feel like
Yeah,
they feel like awesome while things are running smoothly, but then one spark plug goes out, the Pistons bust, and
I didn't realize how light of a schedule they really had. Holy
yeah.
shit.
Well, and like Notre Dame, and at the beginning of the season, it felt like Notre Dame and Auburn were their two toughest games because they always struggle against Auburn for whatever reason, and Notre Dame just came off of being in the national title game, so yeah, I don't
I don't
know.
know.
We'll see.
I think A&M is probably my favorite to make it to Atlanta.
Who do they play? Bama?
Yeah.
Or Oklahoma? Hey, we'll see how it goes with Oklahoma.
Bama.
If we smoke Texas, does that give you a lot more confidence in this team?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think so.
Who do we have to beat for you to think that we're
Ole
playing?
Miss.
You think if we beat Ole Miss, like we can beat
if we beat
Tennessee
at Tennessee, depending on what they are in the next couple of weeks, I think the toughest game we have left on the schedule is Alabama.
I don't know, man. I think it's again, Bama. You know they did beat Georgia. They always beat Georgia, and they beat Vanderbilt. And Vanderbilt, I know, is a good team, but they're just way more talented than Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I know, but I just think Bama's rounding into form.
Let me see what it looks like against Tennessee. I want to see what it looks like against Tennessee. I also want to see what it looks like against LSU because I know they should easily beat LSU, but LSU Alabama is always that weird game where the team that should win usually goes the other way around. So
yeah,
we'll definitely see.
Yeah.
Well, I'll need to see what Oklahoma's defense, if they can continue to be as good as they have been.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's basically it. Do you have anything else?
No. I think we hit on pretty much everything. Hit on all the big games, and it was a kind of a light week for college football. But we'll have our NFL podcast tomorrow. We're gonna record that, get our recap done, and then we'll have our preview later on this week. And this weekend, Week 7 is going to be huge. Week 7 is going to be big. So, do you have any other final thoughts before we get out of here?
I'm ready for the recap tomorrow, and I am ready for the preview on Friday.
You fucking too, man. Me too. Well, this has been another episode of the Locker Room Talk podcast. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with everybody. And if you made it this far, love you. I'm sorry Khalil lost. That hurts my soul. And the Cubs, we have game 2 tomorrow night. So it's going to be a lot going on, and we will catch you all later. See ya.